Good morning, everyone. Okay, we're going to start out with a quick warm-up. We're doing straight sets today, which means there's going to be 6 different moves, and we're going to go through each move 4 times. So 4 sets. We're just going to do a little side-to-side lunge. Oh, good mornings. I'm going to take that off. We'll do 3 on each side. And just a few little arm circles here. I hope you have access to some heavier weights today, because typically when we do straight sets, we like to push ourselves with the weight selection. So I will be lifting as heavy as I can. And backwards. Leg day always requires a good warm-up. We'll just do a couple of these. Okay, the very first move today, if you don't have a bench, because I'll be using a bench, you can always use a chair or just something lower to the ground, because we're going to be doing step-ups, single leg step-ups. So we'll do 5 each leg. So I will show you what that looks like here. We'll be holding 2 weights. You put 1 leg up, and then you just step up. You're going to tip your weight forward a little bit and use this glute to really push. Okay, so we're going to do 5 on each side. I'll be grabbing 2 20s to start, and then we'll see for the next set. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll give it about 15 seconds. I'll turn it to the side so you can see the side angle. And then we'll do 5 more on each side. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switching legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm a little unbalanced first thing in the morning, so it usually takes a couple sets to get used to it. I think I chose the right weights at 20 pounds because I'm out of breath. If you feel like we have another 30 seconds of rest, if you feel like the rest times are too long, it probably means you're not picking up heavy enough weights. So keep that in mind for the rest of the workout. Whew. As a little forewarning, we do have Bulgarian split squats in the workout today. So we'll get there. Okay, pick up the weights, 5 on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switching legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll do one more set of those and then we'll move on to the next move, which is one of my favorite moves, by the way. It's not the Bulgarians. I can typically do 25 to 30 pounds for the step-ups. However, when I'm talking the entire workout, I have to go down in weight a little bit. So don't mimic what I'm doing if you feel like you can go a little bit heavier. Take another 20 seconds. Okay, pick up the weights. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whew, put down the weights. Move the bench out of the way, or the chair if you're using one. Take the time to grab a sip of water because we'll take about a minute in between movements here. This is always my creatine, collagen, and EAAs. I drink that before pretty much every single workout that I do, if you're wondering. The next movement is going to be good mornings. If you have a band, it's okay to use a band with this as well. You would just put your band on the feet and around your neck and then go down. However, I will be using a weight today. I'll probably start with a 25. And so what you're going to do is put the weight on the top of your back here and just bend down. So you want to push the hips back and lean over while keeping your legs straight with just a slight bend in the knee. So like this. And we are going to do 8 reps of those. The weight, you can go a little bit lighter on these ones because they sneak up on you. Those ones are tricky. So let's do 8 of those. 1, 2, remember to squeeze your glutes at the top. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I might try it a different way for the next set so that I can go a little bit heavier than a 25. I'll pick up a 35 and I'm going to hold it right in front of me. And then I'm going to bend down like that. I feel like that might be a little bit easier than getting it behind our heads. So yeah, I'll grab a 30 for that. And if you haven't noticed, I often play around with weight selection when I'm doing these because that's how you discover what you're comfortable with, what maybe you're too comfortable with. So I'll try a 30, maybe I'll go up on the next. So pick it up, hold it here, cross your arms, and hips back. 1, 2, core tight, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I do like that weight. So I'm going to stick with a 30. Take a minute of a break. Okay, you can probably pick up that weight now. And again, we just want to cross our arms here, just for better support. So bend over, we'll do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Put it down. I always underestimate this move because it doesn't feel like much while you're doing it. But the next day, you really feel that in your hamstrings. So it's okay to go a little bit lighter on this move. We'll do one more set. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. Put that away. So that movement is done. The next one is going to be Bulgarians. So again, I have a bench. If you don't have a bench, that's okay. You can use a chair for this one or anything that will lift your back foot up a little bit. I'm looking around the gym. I've got some weights. I've got a cooler. I've got some boxes that are full. Anything that will just prop your foot up. So we'll do this. I like to hold one weight on this move, and then I go a little bit heavier. So a trick for me, I'll do a 30-pound for this one. A trick that I like to do is you sit down at the edge of your bench or chair, and you prop one foot out, and you stand up. And that's going to be the distance between your front foot and the bench. And then you put that foot up. The weight's going to be in the opposite hand, and we're going to go down. We're going to tilt our bodies about 45 degrees, and then go down like this. Every time you lift up, you should really engage that glute that's working, and you'll feel this move the next day for sure. So we are going to do 6 reps on each leg. And again, I'm picking up a 30-pound. So kick your foot out, up, foot back, lean over, And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switching legs and switching arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whew. That is the good weight. Another tip that I just wanted to mention to you guys is that when you're going down, you never want your knee to come in front of your toe. So you don't want to like lean over like this so your knee is in front of the toe. You want to bend with this leg so your knee is still going to be in line with your toe. We'll take another 30 seconds. Bulgarians always get my heart rate right up there. Okay, we're going to pick up the weight. You can switch the leading leg if you want to. I usually do the same leg first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Set it down. A sip of water if you need it. I almost need the entire minute in between these sets. Whew. We have 2 more sets of the Bulgarian. Yay. "20 seconds. I like to stay standing in between my rests and just try to keep moving a little bit, bring the heart rate down. And here we go. Next set. Kick your leg out and up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whew. You know what? I think I'm going to go up in weight just for this last set, especially if I feel like I still have the energy in me. I like to go up on the last set just to see what I can do for next week's session. So I'll go up to a 35, and if that feels comfortable, next week I'll come back and I'll start with 35s. And that's progressive overload. So that's making sure that we're always continuing to challenge ourselves with weight selection, repetitions, volume, whatever it may be. So let's pick it up. And we'll try it with the heavier weight. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switching legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whew. I kind of wish I started with a 35 because that felt like a really good weight. But that is how we learn and grow for next time. We can put the bench or the chair away. We won't be needing it. The next move is a goblet squat. So we're going to pick up the weight right here and then just go down here like that. So I'm going to do 8 reps of that. I'll probably go with a 50 on that one. I might go up on the second or third set depending on how good it feels. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab a 50. We only have 8 reps of this, so I tend to go heavier when the repetitions are a little bit lower. If there was 12 reps, I might have gone down to about 45 or 40, but we are going to try the 50 and see what that does. And again, we just want to make sure that we're not putting our knees over top of our toes. So we want to shoot our hips back for this one, and you want to keep your chest up. So we are going to pick up the weight. We're going to do 8 reps of that. I'll turn to the side so you can see. And 1, the weight is in your heels. 2, squeeze your glutes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That 50 actually felt so good. So I think I'm going to stay with that. I'm out of breath. Another good indicator that you've chosen the correct weight is the last 2 to 3 reps should feel really difficult to get through. You shouldn't just be breezing through this entire 8 reps. If you're struggling to get up on that very last rep or the very last 2 reps, that's the perfect weight. This one did feel a little bit light. However, again, I'm talking for the entire workout, so I feel a little bit out of breath. So I'm going to stick with the 50s on this one. We're going to go ahead and pick it up for set 2. Make sure to lift with your legs. And no, that doesn't count as a rep. Okay, 8 reps. 1, 2, squeeze your glutes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We take about 45 seconds to a minute of rest in between sets. another great thing that I love about strength training is that your core is inadvertently working in pretty much every move that you're doing. So especially with something like a front squat, goblet squat, whatever it may be, your core should feel engaged the entire time. Your core is really working, your deep core. So then when we're bending down, you should really feel that. You might not feel sore the next day from a movement like this with your core. However, trust me, it's working. Pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember the weight is in your heels. 7 and 8. We have one more set of that. So something I want you to think about, definitely in the next set, is like, it's as if you wanted to squeeze your abs really hard. That's engaging your core. So you want to do that during all of these moves. It actually really protects your back. So especially in something like a deadlift, again, you want to make sure that you're engaging your core on something like that to protect your lower back from injury. I have already burned 200 calories. It's not even 30 minutes in. Okay, we are going to pick it up one last time. Remember, you want to shoot your hips back when going down, weight in the heels. And 1, 2, 3, push your knees out. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I hope the tips are okay, but I always want to remind people too that when they're going down, to just push the knees out. You don't want to ever come down into a squat like this. You always want to keep it like this. Okay, we are done with goblet squats, and we are moving on to sumo deadlift. I'm probably going to use a 60 for the sumo deadlift. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay. So you're going to keep your heels a little bit further apart than your shoulders. And you're going to pick it up. You can either pick it up like this, or you can pick it up in between. With the heavier weights, I like to pick it up in between. And we want to go straight leg with just a slight bend in the knee, and then up. And while you're going up, you want to make sure that you're really engaging those glutes on the way up. So we have 8 reps of that. You can probably go pretty heavy on this one, but I will start with a 60 and see how I feel. 8 reps. Here we go. Again, core engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, set it down. I might try 70. I don't have a 65, so it's a pretty big jump. No, I'll just stick with the 60. But you can challenge yourself. Okay, no, you know what? I'll challenge myself too, just to inspire you guys. Okay, let's go 70. You may not have access to this kind of weight at home. That's totally fine, but you can probably grab the heaviest weight that you do have and do this movement with it. And 8 reps. Let's go with a 70. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, that is the right weight for me. And how I could tell was when I was lifting on the way up, my glutes had no option but to engage. I could really feel them being used. So I feel like this is the good weight for me. You don't want to go too heavy because that could hurt your lower back. But again, that won't be a problem if you're engaging your core. Is it just me or is everybody out of breath this morning? Okay, set 2, 8 reps, or set 3, 8 reps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. They are feeling it. One tip that I want to point out for this move is not to overextend at the top. So when you're lifting up the weight, don't go back like this. If your core is engaged, you just want to come in, squeeze your glutes, and keep your core engaged. So you're not going to be able to go back like this if you're squeezing your core. Whew. Take another minute here. We'll do this last set, and then we'll move on to the very last move, which again is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites for the side glutes. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. We're going to wait. Okay. When you're ready, we are going to pick it up and do 8 more reps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we can put that down. We do not need that heavy one anymore. I'll put the 60 away. When I work out, I like to have everything completely clear. I'm not somebody who can just have like dumbbells everywhere and work out in just pure chaos. Okay. Moving on to curtsy lunges. So we are going to do 8 reps of this. So what you're going to do, we're going to be holding 2 dumbbells, and you're just going to push one foot behind the other one and go down like this. you don't have to go all the way back like this, but you also just want to make sure that it crosses over a little bit. And then when you're on your way up, you're really going to feel that in the side of your glute, especially with weights involved. I'm going to go with 2 25-pound dumbbells on this one because it's only 8 reps. And 8 reps total. So it's not 8 reps each leg. I might go up to 30s, but I'll probably stick with these 25s. Okay, if you're ready, let's pick it up. And 8 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ooh. I love that move. 3 more sets, and then we are going to wrap it up. Almost at 300 calories. It's probably from me talking so much. But that's the thing, is people tend to think that straight sets are the easiest and they're the most boring because it takes so long in between sets. But really, I find it very challenging to do straight sets simply because we are picking up heavier weights typically than a superset type of workout, which I will be doing next week. So yeah, take this rest time. I know it might feel long, but you need it. Okay, when we're ready, we can pick it up. 8 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. Usually every single month I like to change up my style of training. And again, that all comes back to progressive overload, always challenging myself with weights, volume, repetitions. So that's why I'm doing straight sets today, and next week will be supersets, and I'll probably stick with supersets for the entire month of September. So pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You guys, we have one more set before we finish this workout. I'll just take about 15 seconds here. I find with lighter weighted movements, we don't really need to take as long of a rest time as, say, picking up a 70-pound dumbbell for a sumo deadlift. So let's get into this last set. 8 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. Put those legs. do a quick little cool down. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing these live leg days every single Saturday at 7 a.m. And I'm posting full workouts every single Friday. So thank you for joining me.